When I was a child, I always wondered why no one ever stayed the night at my grandmother's house. It was a beautiful, ancient compound in the heart of our village in Edo. The walls were made of red clay, and the tall doors were carved with sacred symbols. By day, it was a place of laughter, storytelling, and the smell of palm oil and ogbono soup. But when the sun began to set, even the boldest children would stop playing near it. My mother would say, "We visit Mama during the day, but we must be home before the moon rises." And whenever I asked why, she would simply murmur, "That house remembers too much." The whispering walls. It was on my 13th birthday that curiosity finally got the better of me. I asked my grandmother directly, "Mama, why does no one sleep here?" She stared at me for a long time, her wrinkled hands stilling as she peeled yams. Then she said, "Because the house listens, and it speaks at night." She took me to the back room, the one no one ever entered. It was dark, and the air was thick with incense and old memories. She pointed to the walls. At midnight, they whisper the names of the forgotten. The first night. That evening, I begged her to let me stay. Just one night, I pleaded. Reluctantly, she agreed. She gave me a calabash of water and a white cloth to tie around my head. When the whispers begin, she said, "Do not answer. No matter what you hear." I lay on the mat in the main room, watching the fireflies blink through the window. At first, all was quiet. But around midnight, I heard it, a soft rustling like leaves brushing against stone. Then voices. Faint, echoing, rising from the walls. "Osaru. Osaru, remember us." It was my name. Whispers from many mouths. Some old, some young. Some weeping, some angry. I clutched the white cloth tighter and kept my mouth shut. The forbidden door. At some point, the door at the far end of the corridor creaked open on its own. No one had touched it. And from the darkness beyond, a shadow stepped forward. It didn't walk, it glided. It looked like a woman, but her feet didn't touch the ground. Her eyes were pale and endless, and when she spoke, the room trembled. "You came, finally," she said. "We have waited." Then she vanished, and the whispers stopped. In the morning, I awoke with the white cloth soaked in dew and my grandmother sitting beside me, her eyes red with worry. "You saw her," she said. It wasn't a question. I nodded. The hidden past. That day, she told me everything. Long ago, my grandmother's sister, Ihimwenma, was chosen to become the voice of the ancestors. She was gifted, strange, and feared by many. But during a time of conflict in the village, she was accused of causing a drought. Out of fear, the villagers sealed her spirit in the house after her death, performing a binding ritual so strong that the house itself became alive. Her soul never left, Mama whispered. She waits for someone in our bloodline strong enough to set her free. The choice. I never stayed in the house again after that until last year, when my grandmother passed. The night after her burial, I returned to the house with the same calabash and white cloth. I entered the forbidden room, placed cola nuts on the floor, and poured libation. "Ihimwenma," I called. "I have come." The air shifted. The walls groaned. And then she appeared again, the spirit woman, her voice softer this time. "Will you carry our memory?" she asked. "Or will you leave us to wander forever?" I didn't know what I was agreeing to, but I said yes. The keeper of the house. Now, I live in my grandmother's house. I sleep there every night. The whispers still come, but they no longer scare me. They tell me stories, forgotten names, lost songs, and old wounds that never healed. I've become the new voice of the house, the keeper of memory. People still don't stay past sundown, but they come to me for truth, for healing, and for blessings. So now you know, it's not that people can't sleep in my grandmother's house. It's that the house chooses who can.